This is homework from Monday, the 26th. And I want to remind you, because I know some of you are not doing this, you really need to check your answers for every problem. I know that you're getting really good at this, but it's still important to make sure you're not making any mistakes so that when you get to the test, there isn't anything that you're practicing that's a bad habit in terms of solving equations or solving inequalities. And so be sure that if you do make a mistake, don't just change the answer. Actually go back and figure out what it is you did wrong and make sure that you understand the problem. So please check your answers. Now I'm showing you all the problems on this one screen so that if you'd like, you can do all of them and then scroll through and check your answers. Don't forget that each one needs a number line. Okay, problem number 1. You should have done this already on your own. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I'm trying to get the x by itself. And if I take negative 3 and I add 3, that gives me nothing, so I'm going to cross that out. And so all that's left on that side is the 2x. I'm going to drop this sign down. And then 4 plus 3 is 7. Now I still don't have the x by itself, the variable. Right now it's being multiplied by 2. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is to divide by 2. So I'll divide by 2 on both sides, and that's going to be x. Drop your sign down, and then 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Number line, you need 3.5 here. And then you can either, if you want to, you can go 4.5 and 2.5 on the left, or if you want, you can go 4 here and 3 here. They're both correct, as long as you have even increments. Okay, now, the problem reads that x is greater than or equal to 3.5. I want to remind you of how to read the sign. Greater than or equal to, well, the number is greater than 3.5 or to the right, so I take this circle, I fill it in because 3.5 is a solution, and I know that because of the equal sign, and then shade in that direction. Okay, number 2. Again, you should have already done the problem. You shouldn't be just copying me. So first we have to get the x's on one side. Notice that I have a 6x here and a 3x here. Well, let's get rid of this 3x so that there will only be x's over here on the left. So to get rid of 3x, I subtract 3x. And of course, if you do something on one side of the equation, or in this case, inequality, you have to do it on the other side. And notice that it lines up with the x's because it's an x. Don't drop your x. Okay, 3x, take away 3x is nothing, so I'm crossing it out. And negative 1 is the only thing that's left on that side. I drop my sign. If you take 6x and you subtract 3x, you're going to have 3x. And then I still have the 2, nothing happened to it, so plus 2. Okay, well, what's the next thing I have to do to get the variable by itself? I have to subtract 2 here, which means I have to subtract 2 here. Okay? 2 and negative 2 ends up being nothing, so I cross it out, 3x. Drop your sign. And negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is to divide by 3. So to get rid of that 3, I'm going to divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 1 times x is x. Drop your sign. Negative 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. Okay, now we need our number line here. And in the middle will be 1. And I need a number bigger and a number smaller. Okay, and notice they're even increments. I'm counting by 1. Okay, this reads x is less than or equal to 1. Well, the numbers that are less than 1 are to the left, and I have to fill this in because of this line right here. Less than or equal to. Okay, number 3. Again, you should have already done this problem. If you haven't done it yet, turn the video off and do it first. Don't just watch me. That's not how you learn. Okay, first thing I have to do in this problem is distribute. And distributing helps me get rid of the parentheses. So distribute means to multiply. I have to multiply the 3 times the x, and I have to multiply the 3 times the 1. So working left to right, I'm going to write what I would get. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. Notice I bring the plus sign down. I bring the sign down, the greater than sign, and then 4 minus 2x. Now, we've got a negative 2x on the right-hand side and a 3x on the left-hand side. You're only allowed to have x's on one side, so you need to get rid of one of them, and it doesn't matter which one, but I'm going to get rid of this one. And the opposite of subtracting 2x is to add 2x, so to get rid of it, I'll add 2x. And of course, if I add 2x over here on the right-hand side, then I have to do that over here as well. Okay, this comes out to be 0, negative 2x and positive 2x. Drop that 4, drop your sign. 3x plus 2x is 5x. Okay, now what do you need to do? I hope you said that you need to subtract 3 on both sides, because you're trying to get the variable by itself. That's going to give you 1. Here, a positive 3 and a negative 3 is 0, and then 5x. So the opposite of multiplication is division, so to get rid of that 5 in front of the x, I'm going to divide by 5, and that's going to give me x is greater than 1/5. Now I could have done 1 divided by 5 on my calculator, but I know that division problems are also fractions, and fractions are also division problems, so I know that 1 divided by 5 is really 1/5, which is my answer. I'm going to shrink everything so I can put my number line on here. Okay, so I have to have 1/5 here. We'll go to 2/5 here. And we'll go to 0/5 or 0 here. Okay, this reads x is greater than 1/5. It doesn't have an equal to sign under it, so I'm not shading in the 1/5. Number 4. In this problem, I'm first going to have to combine like terms over here, and over here I'm first going to have to distribute. I'll start on the left side. 7x plus 2x, those are like terms because they both have an x with them, is 9x. And I still have the 5. Okay, so I have this side all simplified. Bring my sign down. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Now I'm only allowed to have a variable on one side, so I have to either get rid of this 9x or this 2x, and I think it would be easier to get rid of the 2x. So the opposite of a positive 2x is negative 2x. And 2x minus 2x, of course, is 0, so I just have negative 2 there. And over here, this is 7x minus 5. Okay, now I'm trying to get the x by itself. Which thing do I get rid of first, the negative 5 or the times 7? I hope you said the negative 5. It's the opposite of negative 5. Positive 5. So to get rid of that 5, I'm adding 5 on both sides. As you can see, negative 5 and positive 5 is 0. So all I have left over there is 7x. Bring your sign down, and this will be 3. One more step. Opposite of multiplying by 7 is to divide by 7. Divide by 7, divide by 7. X is less than 3/7. Again, I could have divided 3 by 7 on my calculator, but all fractions are division problems, and all division problems, 3 divided by 7, are fractions. So my answer is 3/7. I'm going to shrink everything up. And put in my number line. So we have 3/7, and one more makes 4/7, and one less makes 2/7. Okay, this reads x is less than 3/7. Well, the numbers that are less than 3/7 are going to be to the left. I did not fill the circle in because there's no line under here. Number 5. So on this one, I'm going to have to distribute first. I'm just going to recopy this side, 3x plus 4, and drop my sign. And then I'll distribute. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay, again, you can't have variables on both sides of your sign. So the easiest thing would be to get rid of this one by subtracting 2x. And now I have 14, and then here, remember that that cancels. 2x and negative 2x is 0, that's why I crossed it out. Here, this is x plus 4, because 3x minus 2x is just 1x. Okay, I have one more step left. I have to get rid of this 4. The opposite of 4 is minus 4, so subtract 4 on both sides. 10. X is greater than or equal to 10. I need my number line. I'm going to have 10 here, 11 here, and 9 here. This time it's greater than or equal to, which means I need to fill it in. The numbers that are greater than 10 are to the right. All done.